Hello and welcome tonight, guys, to another demo review with myself, Greg from Team Infused. Welcome to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/AvengeGreg. For those of you that don't know where you are, do check out my previous demo reviews in, like just on my YouTube channel, just in related videos, just down below this. And without further ado, we might as well get on to what we're covering tonight. And we're actually going to be covering a demo of Nace, who is the new scout for Quarantine. So Quarantine, for those of you who don't know who they are a Div 1 team that, you know, have worked their way up pretty quickly, you know, with Bevan and them pretty quickly since Div 3, I think. Of course, Bevan got banned, so it meant they weren't actually in any divisions, which is unfortunate. But now he's back, so they are now playing in Div 1, and as such, you know, playing against these teams, Deserto, Equilibrium and Unexist. This game we actually have is versus Unexist in the official, I think in week 2. I'm not 100% on which actual game it is, but it's Gullywash versus Unexist. Okay, so first of all, when you're going to a game versus the likes of these Russians, you have to think, what are they going to be doing? So I would say Unexist, they've changed their lineup recently, so it might not be as hard, as easy to say what they're going to do. But the last time I saw them play, they played with aggression, like full out more aggression than you can possibly imagine. It's just Russians, isn't it? That's what they're really well known for that. And this team with GDK in it, like running Kritzkrieg for the full game, is not out of the question. So as a scout on Gullywash, first of all, you've got to look at your own strategy. So I've quickly breezed through this game just a second ago at 600% speed just to get a gist of what goes on. It looks like Nace plays half decently. Don't really care about that. I just want to know how he plays, what he's doing where. Talk about that rather than talk about how much damage he does and stuff like that. It's not, it's not important to me. You know, if someone has an off day, I don't care. It's what their positioning is and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna have a look at that. But the most crucial thing that I spotted when I went through this, okay, is just the quarantine strategy. Straight off the bat. Okay, Beaver might be a good sniper, but okay, they just played him like sniper 20 minutes of the game at least, and they played heavy for like the first 15 minutes or so, something like that as well, on top of the sniper. So the strategy that Quarantine have gone into this game with is defensive passivity, waiting for Uber and then going in, versus the aggressive team that are just going to be doing stuff that you're not used to. I don't know whether that's a good decision or not. I can't really comment on that, but the one thing I will comment on is the fact that I hate running a heavy on Gullywash. I even hate running a sniper on Gullywash when I'm playing scout. Like, I enjoy sniping myself, but I don't really, it's not great. I'd much rather be playing scout on the point. But as a general rule, I just hate playing as a scout with a sniper. Why? Because on middle you can do nothing. Nothing at all. You're 1v3 effectively, 2 scouts and a demo shooting you. Nothing you can do at the very beginning. Like, it just like, and of course they're running it heavy as well, which means the like soldiers and the main classes aren't even going to be there for ages. You're effectively on middle point on your own for so long. It's just not what I like playing like. So a lot of this, like, me looking into this game might get affected by that. Just like how they do that, but we might as well just jump in. Let me have a look at it, see how it actually plays, because as I said, I only saw it at 600% speed just to get a general gist of what they were doing, and especially just because it was pointed out before by a few people that I should look through the demo before, and then just so I got the general gist of what's going on. So hopefully this is enough. Spending an hour on one of these videos is quite a long time to spend. It is actually quite early in the morning at the moment, so I'm being a little bit quiet just for my flatmate's sake. So I'm not going to be too loud. Hopefully it's fine for all of you listeners. And let's just dive in. Check out Expert. Hopefully it works. Yep. And I've also bound pause and resume keys, as people asked me that before as well. So hopefully this should work. So yeah, Quarantine versus Unexist, each F2L, Gullywash. This is Nace. I've not seen him play before, so it should be quite cool. So he's going defensive left, quite like that. Focusing on that soldier. Now he's to go backwards, yeah. It was good. What he did, it's fine doing that, absolutely fine. But he didn't look elsewhere. If you're going to focus that hard on the soldier left, personally, I will run into his face just to make sure that I do like 80 plus damage rather than the 30-40 that he was hitting him for. That's just a personal thing, because I know there's another soldier jumping, I know there's scouts to my right, that if I get into him and kill him quickly, then that's a good thing, but if I take my time, then chances are I'm going to die. Obviously they went middle. He did like fine, helped his demo man out. If he hadn't shot that soldier, the demo would have died. So, and they got the heavy up on the right, which won them the middle, plus Bevan headshotting. But yeah, he died quite early. Like, dying that early on gullywash middle in general is, you know, pretty devastational. Like, I've been doing it a lot recently, is like dying that early on middle, and it's, you know, we end up losing mids when that happens, really. But of course, they're playing a heavy, the Uber v Uber, and it's gullywash. So they've got a sniper and a heavy. What can they do? Oh, they can't really push. They can't even build Uber because their soldiers are big door. Now they're just relying on Bevan to do something before they can push in. Possibly they'll just Uber a heavy and just to force it to Ubers, but this is why I don't like it. Like, the current meta game of TF2 in the top level TF2 is like speed and aggression, in my opinion. Epsilon players slightly slower, but if you take a look at like the NA TF2 at the moment, like, it's all about doing something as much of the time as you can, especially if you're relying on DM. But obviously Bevan's hit 2 headshots, which gets them in, and now they've pushed through big door. So I'm going to look more on Nace now rather than just saying something about that. Wow, he eats a rocket and then Bevan blows the soldier's head off. Okay, so that's my pause button. Let's wait for him to get a point. That's my pause button. So he's gone in big door. It's fine. Yeah, he's with his soldier. Gone big door. Okay, perfect. Like, you own. If you're gonna split your team up and go 4 and 2, 4 and 2, the best bet is soldier and scouts rather than 2 scouts, in my opinion. Anyway, just on this map, just because of like trying to bait someone in, and generally because you'll be playing against the soldier as well. I just prefer that sort of thing. Especially when you're trying to get your sniper in to get a shot. He couldn't really get anything at big door, so they just sent the sniper to choke, got the kills. And Nace went with his soldier, played with him exactly how I would like to do. I'm not so certain about going into lobby and going behind them. That's just something I dislike doing all this. I never do, just because of like the tendencies to go up there into that really small corridor and get 2-shot by a soldier, which, you know, almost happened if Bevan hadn't hit a headshot. Just like come out of big door. Can I move around? No, I can't because it's a POV. Come out big door and just, it will go into bottom lobby like he did, and then just come onto the point. Just get some cap time on it. They would have capped this, you know, but fair enough, they killed the medic and soldier because of it. But that's just something I would always say. I just like going too far forward when there's a point to be capped. Like, if someone wants to go far forward, Cookie can do it from my point of view. And if you're the only scout, you should be capping. So now they've gone in with a heavy and an Uber, and they're just killing everything, because heavy plus Uber versus no Uber equals win. Okay. So, Unexist. Pretty slow start. Doesn't look like they know how to counter a heavy. It'll come to fact later that they realise what to do to beat it. It's very, very simple. This is why I don't like heavy on Gullywash anymore. Like, and why I never liked it, like in the old Infused, like the reason, I'll come back into that later actually while we're watching the middle. In fact, why don't I pause? There it is. So, the reason that I don't like heavy on this map is because of the really old Infused, the old Twisted play lineup, the team that was undefeated on Gullywash, okay? The reason we went undefeated on this map is because we knew how to counter the heavy strategy, which at the time was the major meta game for Gullywash. Like, all teams running heavy, all teams running sniper. Okay, that was like point blank, always going to do that. You know, Thermal Take, TCM, Blight, all those old school teams were always going to do that, and we just knew how to counter it. And it's just a case of knowing where to be and when to be on middle. And once you recognise that and remember it, you're going to beat this, which is why I'm sure it turns around later. But it's one of the reasons why I would never run it. Personally, like, if you're in Div 2, Div 3, and it's working for you, go ahead. But I'd say do it with the cookie strategy, cookie cutter even, just standard sort of thing. And if you're playing a heavy, okay, identify which side is going up first, right? Well, not first. First things first, you know they're using a heavy. You have an extra 10 seconds on middle to do whatever you want. Get the positioning you need, okay? Positioning you need is based off where the heavy's going to be. And also, demo and scouts, like, definitely run 2 scouts, but I'll come into that in a sec. Demo and scouts, like, identify where he's going to be early, so you can be there as soon as he comes up when he's not spinning to do 200, 300 damage before he even comes up the ramp, and then he starts spinning and then he's dead. Like, it's scouts just destroy heavies, and it's so hard for them to get up if you've done enough pressure in the early part of the game. It's so easy to stop that heavy getting up. Yeah, so the reason I prefer 2 scouts and not a sniper is because of the fact that a heavy just dies so easily to meat shots. Like, it takes 4 to kill him. If both of your scouts are there, you hit 1 each, then as a demo sticking, he's dead. Or, you know, that's the sort of thing I mean. So, 2 scouts, and also 2 scouts means you've got more point domination versus that 1 scout they've got on the point, because they're usually running a sniper. Heavy and sniper come in hand in hand pretty much on this map. Then, if they're just running a sniper, you're welcome to run a sniper. That's fine. It's just like a general thing. I think Tyrone said it best. I think it was Tyrone in one of the MGE videos a while ago, and it was, if there's a heavy, you should have 2 scouts, not a sniper. If there's a sniper, you can have a sniper or 2 scouts. It's you know, it's pretty standard sort of thing that I would always stand by. Anyway, let's keep going. Watch this middle. So from obviously I've gone into a rant. They've done something else. So they've done something else. Nace has come to middle. He's gone left. Done a bit of chipping damage. Now he's kind of swapped over to the right because that's where the soldiers jumped up to, which is awesome. He's seen where the soldiers have gone up to. One thing I'd like to quickly point out is the fact he's not died early. That second soldier, so you can see both of them there. When that second soldier jumped last time, he died. So he's already got, you know, this mid is already better than last. But anyway, let's keep going. So he's not actually done too much damage, but he stayed alive. And then when you're playing a heavy and a sniper strategy, staying alive and trying to keep as much presence is good. Now he's got a kill underneath. Awesome. And he's getting some time on it, presence, and his team are calling something, are they? There's the demo. I thought I heard somebody behind him. Oh well, I think he was trying to find the demo and couldn't see him, so. But yeah, that's a fine middle. Like, when you're running heavy sniper, don't die. Pretty baseline. Alright. And, yeah, well they won it. I assume they're still running a heavy. I didn't see one there. So even after that ran, I think they still do. So there's a sniper in the bottom lobby. They've won middle. They've got Uber. I don't know if they took the medic out. And this is what I prefer doing as a scout, just generally, compared to what he did last time. Is going big door, just coming onto the point, letting a soldier jump to put pressure on them out, and they've just capped second because it's so hard for the other team to go and block it, and they've just got 2 really crucial picks. Like, what was GDK doing there? I don't know at all. Anyway, here they are, gonna go into last. Not top 2, but they've lost their demo going in, so he's just going. Okay, I wouldn't have done that. Pushing gullywash last is tough, in the least. First of all, I wouldn't push from where your sniper is, just because that attracts attention. Second of all, I would wait for your heavy classes to go in. Fair enough, the heavies went in and then Fuo died, their demo, and the heavy then couldn't get in because of it. I would then just back straight out and not died, like up Riverside, or gone into water seeing if I could do anything instead, trying to get a little back cap. And then I would, you know, just instead I would have probably gone Riverside, hearing the call, we're going to go in top right, okay, fair enough, you're going to be in 2 seconds later, maybe even 1 second later than they are on Riverside, in the side, but you're closer to the point, and you can come in from the side. Now they've got Uber advantage, they're pushing with the Uber. He's going to go for the point. Demo's underneath, being called, but he's not managed to do enough. Demo's really low. I don't mind that decision. What would I say? I guess they're running 2 scouts now. They were running sniper before, I think. I don't know if they had a scout on that push or not. I prefer just not coming the same side as my heavies generally. Unless I know they're running a pyro and I go in with the combo to make sure the pyro dies, I just don't go from the same side. I'd rather go riverside or go main if they go riverside, sort of thing. So anyway, they've lost that. They failed that push. They are gonna Nutson just blocked the points, and Nace was nowhere nearby. Okay. Fair enough, he took quite a lot of damage, big door side, when they pushed out, but as the team QN there, I would have called to them, basically saying, I am low, I can't come in, effectively, because he couldn't. Fair enough, like, it's fair enough if you're on 11 HP or whatever he was and he needed the 2 health packs, but Nutson still went in and blocked. Fair enough, they got the medic kill in the end, but it was at the cost of like 8 lives, wasn't it? Something stupid sort of thing. Obviously I know there's not 8 people on the team, guys. So they did lose middle, but thanks to a heavy just being lol, they just won it back. That's the one thing with playing against a heavy, which Unexist obviously haven't yet come to grips with, is that they can't overextend. So they lost their demo, I think, which meant their demo couldn't stick the heavy out at the point, and they lose 2 points because of it. Now KNZ goes down. Don't actually know who that is. And they've got crit streak, I think. I'm not 100% on that one. So he's going a different way to his heavies. This is something I prefer. They've crits in, forced the Uber, and he's not gone in. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, except he's been caught out a little bit. He's not gone down though, so that's fine. I probably would have done that as well. Now their team's decided to push in with the heavy without anybody. Nace comes in and does a good bit of damage. Awesome. That's fine. I quite like that Pesci play. The only thing that I sort of said is he got a little bit caught out in bottom lobby. Didn't know that they were pushing into him, but he got out alive. He got saved by Beaven. They took a scout kill out of it, which is fine. He kind of baited a kill, and I think they're actually running 2 scouts now. I'm not 100% on that one. So now he's going up to defend his demo again. Yep. When you're playing a heavy, that's exactly what you need to do. Soldier jumps up with them, but he's not going in to support them early enough. Goes down. Demo goes down. Okay. I kind of wish I had free cam now. Let's move it a little bit because that's annoying. There we go. So he's gone up left, and he's done a little chipping damage fight sort of thing, and he's still on 90 odd health. I think he was, maybe even 80. Even if I was down on 40 then, and my soldier had jumped in, I hope they would have called, I'm jumping on them. If not, he saw him jump over his head. You've got to push pressure in with him, because generally when the soldier jumps in, you're going to distract every single one of that team. Pretty much everyone. Obviously you can't say that, but like, the soldier that jumped in, Nutson, he survived for a bit, got a kill on the other opposing soldier. But the soldier that jumped in took the pressure and the all the rockets from KNZ for a little bit, for like 2 rockets I think it was, and then Nace went in after Nutson had taken the pressure, which meant KNZ could then just after Nutson was pressuring KNZ even. So then Nace, KNZ had the opportunity to just turn around and rocket Nace to the face, which he wasn't expecting. If he had gone in 2 rockets earlier, maybe 1 rocket earlier, that soldier that took down both Nace and Fuo on that middle would have died before both of them went down. Fair enough, I reckon Nace would have died as well, but Fuo would have still been alive. They would have had Nutson still alive, he would have been able to shoot rockets at somebody else. That middle probably would have gone excuse me, sorry. Probably would have gone completely differently. It's just those little tiny things that, to Div 1 standard, still loses them rounds. Just take that into account. Those little tiny moments where you can go in and wreck, that the likes of Stefan and Cookie will go in and just exploit, would win you rounds, win you middles. Like Nutson there, that jump was perfect, and it was just unlucky. And I would kind of like to see that again, just to see what Nace, could have done instead. But like, that's just, I mean, I'm picking on something really, really small there because I paused, and when I'm paused, I don't have anything to talk about, which means I just rant for a little bit. So let's just keep going. mean, fair enough, they've got their heavy up. He dies now because heavy out of position with no support is going to die to them. And there we go. So they're 2-0 up at the moment, but lost middle. And when you're playing as with a heavy, it's so hard to push out. Just in general, it's just so hard to push out. What the hell was GDK doing there? Trying to take down the medic. Why? Don't need to. You don't even have any cap time on middle at the moment. Now they don't have a demo. Honestly, I would love to know how many they have up now. I think they've got at least 4 up. I would have gone for mid. There was only ×2 on that, I think. Possibly ×4. I would have probably pressured for that. You have Uber. Uber v Uber. They might have a little bit of position advantage, but at least you force their Uber. They've still got to cap the point. So, oh well, that's just something I would say. So now they've Uber v Uber. They've lost their heavy. Great play from Unexist. Managed to drop the heavy. Okay. Sorry, I'm just I like that. I'm just trying to see where the rest of his team were in the middle of that, because obviously I can't click on them. I would say I quite like that because of the fact the Uber happened like near mid big door, and they had the opportunity to pick off that scout. Unfortunately he didn't, and Bevan was slightly too late to get there. If Bevan was there 2 seconds earlier, I don't know whether Nace called anything early enough there. If Bevan was 2 seconds earlier there, they would have had 2 scout kills and both of theirs alive. So I actually quite like that little decision. It's something that I probably would have done personally. You know, during an Uber fight when I'm sat elsewhere looking at it and I just go, hang on a minute, there's somebody over there not Ubered, let's go and deal some damage, force the multi, something like that. So now they've got Uber disadvantage, using the Pyro, and Pyro's in the wrong position. So they lose. Simple as that, really. I'll pause there. Right, so the Pyro on gullywash last. It's pretty simple. There are 2 positions that you can stand in. Okay, one of them is pretty much where the crosshair is now, like behind the demo man, behind that pillar, and on the pipes. Yes. Which effectively watches main, top left and top right, plus takes you a couple of seconds to jump over to Riverside, so if the Riverside call is early, you can get over there and still reflect. The second one is outside the right door and right beside Riverside. And if you're not in either of them, then if they go Riverside, you're screwed. If they go top left, where the Pyro was there, they would have been fine, but you just need a little bit more eyes when you're playing Pyro. When I'm on Pyro, I just call to my team, where are they coming? I need a really, really early call. Why? Because generally I'm looking into a wall to stop them from seeing me. And secondly, because of that, like, you know, I just can't, I can't even see when they walk out of where they're coming from. And like, so basically just the early call means that I can just drop down in their faces early enough to reflect them out. And it's up to you how you play it. Like, generally I quite like letting the soldier through to go. He'll jump in trying to force the Uber, you then or trying to kill your medic, or your demo, and you reflect the demo and the medic out. That means that the soldier that's jumped in doesn't have Uber on him, and it's pretty much a 1-for-1 trade, because you're going to die to that Uber pretty much. But that soldier who's gone in and now has 4 people shooting at him is going to die as well. So, but it's mainly your positioning for your Pyro. Like, I'm shocking at Pyro, like, in public. I mean, I don't really play much public, so I can't really say I'm not the best Pyro in the world. And Pyro defensive last is so easy that it's all down to positioning. So that's just, make sure you're in the right position, and if you don't know the positions, just try a few. Watch a few demos. Let's go. So obviously Nace has gone top left. Both these times they had 2 scouts last middle. Slightly different, no beam and sniping. Was that the reason they lost it? Don't know. So he's going top left again. They're pressuring that demo man so hard. Furo, nice stick from Furo. That's a That's fine from Nace, jumping back, just keeping himself alive. Nice bit of damage on the soldier, turns him around. Perfect. Then focus on the other soldier. Now he probably needs to be worrying about their scouts to help his heavy out. The heavy's gone down. Okay, so Nace has had a good middle. The reason they lost that is because they're playing a heavy and Unexist have realised how to counter it. Heavy and medic went down, pushing up left. That was well played from Nace, to be honest. Just unfortunate he was stuck the wrong side. Possibly he could have helped on left a little bit more. But when you're playing with a heavy, you need to keep yourself alive. So you're there for when the heavy gets there. You can't just sacrifice yourself to try and help keep some of the positioning. And as I said before, the cast when I was talking about the heavy strategy, as I pause it just to say that, talking about the heavy strategy, if the opposite team know where you're going, have the right positioning, they will destroy you, which is just what happened. So, Unexist, awesome. 2 thumbs up for them. And let's just see what they... Oh, go on. Okay. So he was scout because Beeman was pyro. Even in that situation, I probably would have been heavy, and I wouldn't have peeked out. They had uber advantage. There's no point running up Riverside. Okay, someone should have called there was a scout behind him. How the hell is he supposed to know that? But he still shouldn't have been out there. It was, you know, it's the 5 extra steps that is the difference between, you know, Div 1 and Prem, or Div 1 and low Prem. Even it's not you know, it's not even, you know, it's just those 5 steps that it's the difference between you dying and you being alive for a last push, and it happens to everybody at times. So just make sure when you're on last, there's no point in trying to go out and trying to get a hero pick. You're better off being 6v6 with a pyro on gullywash than you are being 5v6 or you know, just even 5v5 when they've managed to kill somebody. It's I for the 10% chance of you killing the medic, not even that, 1% chance of you killing the medic, it's just not worth it. But I don't. I think he might have been just trying to find out where the medic was for Bevan, but that's not the way you do it. Alright, let's keep going. As I've already taken quite a while over this. God, I wonder how long we've taken. So they're running crit screen to mid. We'll see what happens. I don't mind the chassis at all. It's quite a surprise when you have a crit screen on Gullywash middle. He goes choke defensively. Really defensively. They're going late to middle because for the crit screen. If they are, that's awful decision. Wow. Are you serious? That was some nice shots from Nace, I have to say. How does that even work? Though, like, how did the scout that ran past didn't look at him? How did this demo that had it sticky not dead on him? How can you be... Oh, they lost middle. Okay, they did lose middle. It's fair enough. Makes a bit more sense then. But it's all down to that positioning fight again, which Gullywash is so crucial. And if you're running a heavy, you can't win it, which they're still running a heavy at the moment, and they're losing because of it. Unexist have wised up to what they need to do, and Quarantine haven't realised that. And they're still trying the same thing. So, and the crit screens come in. I wonder if Nace called that they had a crits. Something that's I really do want to make, you know, really point out, being really crucial. But let's just see if they manage to hold them. As I said, out they do. Okay, something that is really. Oh, let's get rid of this sound before I'm doing it. Alright, something that's really crucial is when Nace ran in there and shot the medic, 2 shots. Okay. One of the things that like automatically comes to my mind now, automatically now as a scout, having been in Prem, I don't think I even did this when I was, you know, working my way up. But it's just something that if I see a medic, the medic's weapon, I automatically like notice what it is. It's just something that I get used. That I'm so used to now. I just look at it and I see it and I go, oh, that's crits, or that's Uber. Whether you do as well, I don't know. But if you think about it for a couple of games, it comes so naturally. It's really easy to spot. And whether Nace spotted it when he killed the medic on middle, because I certainly did. He took 2 shots to kill him, shortest amount of time he could possibly kill him. I still saw that gun. Even if it'd been killed with sticky traps there, I probably would have still seen that to see they had crits. I don't know if he called it to his team because it doesn't seem like they were ready for crit squeak there. Anyway, let's keep going on to the next middle. Back onto normal Uber. And so I didn't spot. Were they running 2 scouts? I think they're running 2 scouts. I think they're not using a heavy now. I think it's finally realised that the heavy's not working. But now they're running a strategy they're not used to. Yeah, so 2 scouts and soldier. Nace hasn't done enough on middle at the beginning of the fight, really, but they do have a lot of point presence. They've lost a player. The Unexist medic's so out of position. Now, focus the scout. Make sure you know where the scouts are. If you're outside of a fight as a scout on gullywash, you should always be trying to find where their scouts are. Why? Because if they're not in a fight, you're probably going to see them out flanking, and you're there ready to, you know, shoot them anyway. So you might as well be prepared for that, rather than trying to find a way back onto the point to fight against the soldiers that are in a better position than you. If the scouts are fighting your soldiers, you need to get the hell up there right away to go fight them. But it basically, like, if you end up losing your point presence to the scout on gullywash middle, just make sure you try and find a position to fight their scouts or support your players. Basically, that's what it just comes down to, supporting your players. And that was a nice middle. That was a really nice round, to be honest. And they ran 2 soldiers, 2 scouts. I doubt Unexist were ready for it. So this middle, we're going to see a much more contested middle because of the fact that they're going to be ready for 2 scouts, 2 soldiers. So Nace is going to go right side this time. Okay, now actually onto the point. Fights the scout for a little bit. Now looks to see if the soldier's going to jump. Yeah, soldiers are both playing defensive valley. They get a big kill because of the soldiers taking so long. But now Nace is so defensive. A little bit too defensive in my books there. He probably could have got up earlier. Now he's trying to. He's on 50 health. You're still on 50 health. You don't need to wait for that health pack. I mean, fair enough, I do it sometimes as well when I'm on. But there's a medic there that you need to support. The demo there you need to support. Your scout partner you need to support. Fair enough, the medic is healing the demo, but you still have 50 health. Like, you don't need to be that far back. Like, you can still dodge spam. You can still stay a bit further away and do chipping damage at least. But that's just something I would say comes with a bit more practice against some of the higher quality teams, I guess. So now he's in a, does a good job taking down that jumping soldier and going back for health pack again. Okay. Takes down the demo. That's a nice shot. Oh, just clearing up frags. Trash man. So yeah, stays alive, good enough to kill off the frags. So you're gonna deal the rest of the damage that his heavies have done and his scout partner's done, which is fine. Now he's alive to get time on point. Perfect. Possibly would have gone big door. There's no fault to him, but at least someone from their team should have gone big door. That's all. Like, one of their scouts, one of their soldiers, and now they're in with Uber. He's so lucky that demo didn't see him on the sticks. And they just cap it at 4-3. Awesome. So, alright. I'm actually going to quickly check demo UI, just to see how much time is left. Wow. We've been only 18 minutes through this game. I'm pretty sure this ends 4-all. So, this run's going to be a couple of minutes long. Alright, so both soldiers jump. Now he goes aggressive. That's nice. That was really nice. Possibly could have gone slightly earlier, but it's fine. And now he's just in the valley clearing up the frags from the players that have dropped off because of the damage the soldiers have done. That's a really nice mid-strat from them. I don't know whether that just came out of the blue, just both soldiers jump at the same time. I feel Nace is getting off a bit lightly at the moment, just purely because of the fact that in the early fight he's not really taking too much pressure. If you watch this, fair enough, he's playing defensively, but if you play like that sort of defensively, if I play that sort of defensively against Epsilon, you can't, basically, is what I'm trying to say. That's the sort of play that they would take advantage of, and fair enough, some middles and some of the lesser teams you can get away with it, but you need to just adapt to your gameplay, so you're trying to do more. But he was alive in time for the soldiers to jump, but basically, like, actually I'm going to pause it. They've got a running quit screen again. So what happened is both his soldiers jumped, and because of how good the soldiers jump was, they won the middle. He played defensively. If you were playing against one of the better teams, you would have been pressured out, but their scouts wouldn't, because you didn't, like, Nace didn't do very much pressure to them, which meant that the scouts from Unexist probably should have been in a much better position to deny the soldiers, or to do enough damage to the soldiers, which means that the soldiers jump is so distracted that they're going to go for scout. Like, if it's a scout on middle, you do 80 damage to a jumping soldier and force him to attack you. Perfect. Perfect. Because you can just drop off the point and take no damage. They've taken half their HP damage and are out of position because they've gone for you instead of somebody else. So that's just some, you know, general gullywash middle thing that a lot of people seem to not do, which is weird. Like, I actually would come having done 2 gullywash games so far. I'm gonna ask see if I can get one off Stefan. He might not give me one, but I'll try. Just to see what he does, because I know what their scouts do in the middle is, and their demo. It's basically down to how random pressures as well. They freeze him and we'll have to do it. But there's the Uber through. They've used crits and choke. He's run away from the Uber. Okay. I would say he's run the wrong way. Personally, I would have run backwards rather than forwards. You know, when the Uber came big door, I would have stayed in bottom lobby, or fallen back to our last and then push forward as your team come back. Okay. Right. So he pushed forwards, met up with the rest of his team, and then went all around and did nothing while the rest of his team died. Once he made the decision to go forward and be with his team, he should have stayed with them and been pocket, because they don't think they had any soldiers, and they got a couple of frags. So I think they were 4v4, 4v5, something like that, I'd say. I didn't really spot how much went down perfectly, I'm afraid. Which is why I want tab, for those of you that said that me holding tab a lot is bad. So if they had 4 of them at choke, or 3 of them at choke, demo, scout, medic, rather than just demo medic, they could have been in a lot better position coming back and trying to pressure the other team and deal some damage. They possibly would have got some crucial picks out of it. I probably would have said they might even have held the point. Like, fair enough, if you don't think your DM's going to be up there, then fine, but I just, like, that's the sort of position where you want to be supportive of your team rather than thinking for yourself so you're still alive at last. I think it was a bit of mumble comms probably went bad. They're saying abandon the point, they've Ubered on, they're getting cap time, and most of their team are going, oh shit, and nobody that's dead has told them you're all together or something like that. You know, if I'm dead, I am constantly pressing my fire button, constantly, because I get such a picture just flicking through everybody. I instantly know where everybody is, I know what someone's doing, and if they're not coming, you know, if something's not right, if they're not, you know, not getting the support or something, I instantly say, like, Cookie's on them, go help him, or Cookie's with you, go, something like that. You know, that sparks a reaction from the players, because sometimes when you're in a firefight you can't press that push to talk button, you can't say what's going on, and it's just something that I've always done, in all honesty, when I played Source, like, because I used to call in Source, and when I was dead I was calling all the time. I, like, micromanaged the team to shit, and, like, when you're dead you have a better picture than everybody else in the game. You know where everyone is. So no one picked up on that, which is a shame, really, because they possibly could have done something better than be on their own last at this point and being pressured back, and the demo coming through main. But let's resume, see what happens. Did their medics manage to survive? That's something. Medic and demo managed to survive and get out of there. That's something I didn't actually notice when I went on that run. Right, here comes the Uber on the right. Pyro, where? Nowhere. Well, that answers my question. Oh, there's a pyro. Huh? Yeah, so I was thinking that basically when I said there, did they manage to get out? My reasoning for that question was because they had no pyro or heavy. Okay? If you have an equal Uber, you can play the standard classes, doesn't matter. But if you've got an Uber disadvantage, you need something. You need some factor, some spark that's going to get you that, you know, be able to help you hold the last. They managed it. I think an Uber saw hit what happened, and they managed to hold it. Fair enough, that's fine. But they would have been a much. To be honest, if they had a pyro there playing that properly, they would have got second back after that push from Unexist, and they would be pushing onto middle right now. I'm willing to say that. And now they've got Uber disadvantage again. Pyro's not keeping that medic out. They've got heavy and a pyro though, so yeah, awesome. And Pyro does push out something. Did they lose their medic? I'm pretty sure they lost their medic. But they got enough frags because Unexist decided to keep losing everybody. Alright. I'm actually going to pause. So, it was quite a nice defense, really, that came down to the fact that they had a heavy. Pyro even kept the medic out, I think, for a little bit with the Uber, but he kind of didn't do enough, I'd just say. But he did fine. He did enough. He did well. Yeah. Well, okay. Doesn't matter. The Unexist push was god awful. God awful. You have to have some idea of what you want to do with a full Uber advantage. And even if you don't, have a scout with your medic because they're going to have a pyro. And don't just bomb everyone in. They've got a heavy. What's the point in just bombing everyone in so they don't get any Uber? So basically just make sure you've got at least an idea of what you want to do when you're going. Have a strategy that you always run when you've got an Uber advantage. Something like that. You know, it's pretty simple. And even if it is as simple as doing exactly the same as normal, or exactly just a push, say a push main or push riverside, you should call which way you're going to push, right, with your standard combo, and all you do is bring a scout with you as well, just to counter that pyro that's become the the norm, the norm in the European meta game. Just because a scout can two-shot a pyro, a demo man can't do that much. He can do a bit depending on how good the pyro is, and the soldier can't really do anything either. He has to get a shotgun out. It doesn't do as much damage as the scouts, and if you just hit the scout in first, it's an instant meat shot. In theory, I'm just going to say that now. Then, in theory, you can let's say it's all guaranteed 60 damage in the first shot. That's a lot of damage on a pyro that's on, I don't even remember what the HP is, 160? I don't remember actually. Well, that's bad, isn't it? So, because he can't reflect everything, that he's going to take chipping damage. That's light damage, and then the scout's going to be able to shoot another shot, and he's going to be dead. So that's just a really basic thing, and Unexist didn't do it. Awesome for these guys, absolutely awesome. And Nace stayed scout, which is cool. I quite like doing that sort of thing. We do that in Infused a lot, where Cookie stays scout, and I go that utility class that helps out. Why? Because a scout can help clear up all those jumping players that aren't really doing very much from the opposite team. Let's go. Especially a scout that can hit as many shots as the likes of Nace did in the last push. Okay, let's keep going. Their medic died, so they do have equal Uber. Do they have Uber? Yes, they do. I am going to hazard a guess at me knowing Unexist, they're going to have crits right now. And if I was quarantined, I would have my heavies up top. It seems to me, as I said before the game, this is why I said before the game that they will be running crits a lot, and that's just a natural reaction. That if I'm expecting aggression when we don't want it, then I would be up top. And there you go. It was a crit, but they get the Uber in time. Nace is hanging around in bottom lobby. Awesome. What are those soldiers doing? Perfect. But now he's run off to resupply. I'm not 100% certain how they lost all their players when they had an Uber versus a crits. Okay. If I was Nace in that position and I'm relying on so there's an Uber versus a crits, I'm expecting at least 2 frags off of that Uber. Okay. Which also means that I don't want to go into it because I don't want to waste any of our Uber getting swapped to myself just because a crit stick is coming away or something. Because I want to get maximum damage out of it. So I'm going to stay in bottom lobby, just in case anything dives under and tries to get behind for after the Uber. And then, if there's anything there, try and clear it up, get some support, clear it up, and then push forward with the team. And that's what I would say. Like, that's what I do. I might go choke. It depends who's with me, what's going on. But I'd probably stay big door. I would stay big door in bottom lobby. Why? Because as soon as that crit screeg's over, I can go in and help support my heavies and get big frag, the important heavy frags. And then if something's behind us, we can all go back and clear it up. Or me and a soldier, my scout partner and a soldier can go all the way back through choke and clear that side. So that's why I was saying that was good. I don't know whether there were too many people in that Uber that made the problem. And I just have to say that I think that they didn't expect a crit screeg, which, I'm sorry, you're playing against Unexist, you're playing against Russians, you're playing when both medics have spawned at the same time. That's just like a staple. And crit screeg again, perfect. That was a good play from their soldiers. Now he's just playing defensively, nice. One thing I would have said about Bevan's position there is a pyro would have stayed with my medic in case the crit sticky got through, just so I can reflect it. But now they want to push out. They've got 4 kills at least. I think I only saw 4. Soldier jump top. Just call it. Doesn't matter. Get on the point. Perfect. Soldier behind. Yeah, takes him down easily. Another soldier behind. Obviously, you've seen it before. The player's not gone down yet. Went in alone. That's all I can say for that. Oh, Nace, what a rocket, mate. Can he get the second? He deserves it. Ah, unlucky. 1 HP and he hits a beautiful rocket. So yeah, so Nace shouldn't have died there and he basically just went and tried to be a hero to go fight the soldier 1v1 they knew was there. And now he's trying to do it against a scout. He hits his shots, wins it. Okay, if you're confident to go do it, it's fine. But like, if it's a situation that's it can be avoided pretty much, and it's something that, like, I learned when I played for Team UK with Byte. When I saw, when was that? I saw a scout just in Valley. We were playing Badlands. I saw a scout just in Valley, and I dropped on him, and I hit 100 my first shot, and I missed a couple, and he put me really, really low. And if I had waited 3 seconds to go and kill him, he still would have been trying to ninja in the same spot. He still would have died. I mean, he still wouldn't have done anything. But I would have had a soldier with me and he would have just killed him instantly. Fair enough. I didn't die. because I got like jumped on me and a soldier jumped on me to save me, but it's just something I have, you know, in my memory about that. Just like, what's the point in going into a 1v1 when you can be in a 2v1? So he's supportive of his own team, but doesn't want to have his support to him. Oh well, I'm sure they'll think about it completely, and especially if there's a soldier behind on your comms, you're going to have something going on about that because they spotted that ages ago. Oh well, they did a nice push into middle, capped it out. Nice support from Nace. That was perfect because his heavies pushed the players back, and then to help get his heavies out, he went in and supported and did the damage. They got the point, and that's exactly what they needed to do. Now I don't know whether it was equal Uber, but they managed to cap the point, so it means Unexist are going to have to back away because they're screwed. Yeah. Getting the time on the point wins it, and I have to say, so far, like, the majority of this, Nace has actually played really, really well. And they seem to be a team that's knows how to play the double soldier, double scout combo. Oh wow! Yeah, it just seemed to be a team that knows how to do that, which just you know they would be winning, I'd say now, if they had changed it up earlier. Just like the reason they were behind is because of some poor decisions in staying in that heavy, which wasn't working at all. They tried to push it too hard. That scout Beaven trying to run into bottom lobby, I hate that door. Really hate it. There's always stickies there. I always go in bottom. Pretty much. I always go in that door that he's going to now. I don't always, obviously. But it's something you probably should try and do. I think I've died in the same game to random stickies 3 times. Just stickies on that door. God, I remember that. Okay, so I was chatting about nothing there. Because to me it seemed like they weren't going to push. Do you want me to say why? Because of Nace's positioning. Make sure you position better. Basically, I don't know how bad the comms were to initiate a push like that, where they all went in. I think they went in a couple by a couple rather than one by one, and died. Fair enough. There was an Uber in bottom lobby, so Nace saw the Uber in bottom lobby, backed off a little bit. Then the team's comms obviously said something along the lines of push past them. So he probably could have waited 2 more seconds, gone into lobby, checked if they were still there. I doubt they would have been, because they would have been racing back to last to go and block it, and then you could have been in to help support, rather than being in this situation now of being the only scout up. And if you are the only scout up, this isn't what you want to do. Personally, I would have to say personally, I am always of the opinion of going for a back cap, but that's just because it's, you know, that's just me. But like, so if this was me right now, I would be in a multiple of different positions. I'm not going to list any of them, in all honesty. You should know some back cap positions, or have an idea of some, or go watch some demos to get them, right? It shouldn't be up to me to tell you what positions I use, because it's obviously some of the teams we play against will be watching this and will be going, what does Greg use? Oh, I'll go watch yours. You can go watch my demos instead, rather than go do some of your own work rather than watch this. But let's keep going, because I'm taking forever with these pauses. I'm such a ranter. And
our control point.
so this, I saw this bit before, and going, where's the medic? Where's the medic? Oh wait, did that soldier just kill himself in front of him? Blow just killed himself. Blow suicided. What? Nace didn't even fire a shot. Okay. I think whether the call was to try and get up forward spawns or something, I don't know, but basically if you're going to go in and block the point, you might as well shoot something. Especially when you could shoot a scout that wasn't looking at you and get a pretty much guaranteed meat shot on him. Wow. How lucky do you get? Alright, basically Unexist Ubered and decided not to for their demo man. The demo man was in bottom lobby with no stickies up and the easiest kill in the world. But they pushed really, really hard here, Unexist, and rightfully so. if I was Nace there, that's kind of decision of sitting there for a little bit after killing the demo was really bad. He needed to go top, or he needed to back out and support his team. Those are the two, plain dead decisions to make, not hang around. They knew he was behind him, so if he just piss around behind them for a little bit, the team would have come back of Unexist rather than chasing down their demo man, or chasing down the medic and stuff. Or if he had gone back with his team, he might have been there to help support and keep his players alive. And they wouldn't be in the situation where they are now. Obviously, it's not all down to him. Unexist could have done exactly the same thing as they wanted to before. And pushed in and be on last now. And if they lose this push, I know why. So let's just see what happens. Yeah, I mean, if they win this push. So yeah, so that's just one thing I'd say about Nace's positioning there. He should have known where his teammates were. Like when he died and clicked through, they were at choke. So, oh well, and that's good games being called. Is that actually? Oh, it is. So yeah, I'm actually going to quickly go into it yet again. Pyro, wrong position on last. Quarantine could have held it and be 4-3 up right now. He was on the floor at the little health pack by main. So that's just something I would like to just point out pretty much right there. And unfortunately, we don't actually have the golden cap demo because Nace didn't send it to me. So that's it for us for Nace, really. Hopefully you guys have got some general helpful tips and hints from that. Nace as well. I have to say he played well. There wasn't that much I could fault with what he did at all. So that's pretty much it from me. Thank you very much for joining me. I've been Greg. This has been one of my demo reviews. Please check me out on my YouTube account. Subscribe, comment, like. It's youtube.com/AvengeGreg. Follow me on Twitter. It's Greg Bushell. And check out PirateRadio. The links are all under this as well, so don't worry about trying to remember them. All in the comments, all in the details even. And thank you very much for joining me. See you later.